Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we bring you a story that will stir your emotions and awaken your sense of admiration, a true life account of bravery, resilience, and unshakable hope. This is the story of a soldier who lost both his legs in combat, but never allowed that loss to define his identity or diminish his spirit. Instead, he rose above unimaginable pain and adversity to inspire thousands and prove that even when life takes everything away, you can still choose to stand tall. His name is Noah Galloway, a former U.S. Army sergeant, and his journey from the battlefield to becoming a symbol of perseverance is nothing short of extraordinary. Noah enlisted in the military shortly after the September 11th attacks, driven by a powerful sense of duty and patriotism. He was deployed during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and like many soldiers, he was willing to sacrifice everything to serve his country. But in December 2005, during his second tour in Iraq, his life changed in an instant when a roadside IED exploded under his Humvee. The blast tore through the vehicle, causing catastrophic injuries. He lost his left arm above the elbow and his left leg above the knee, and sustained serious injuries to his remaining limbs and face. He was rushed to a military hospital, unconscious and broken, both physically and emotionally. When he finally awoke days later, he was missing two limbs, his jaw was wired shut, and he was drowning in disbelief and despair. The once strong and athletic young man was now confined to a hospital bed, unable to even sit up on his own. The aftermath of the explosion was more than just physical. Noah faced one of the hardest battles a person can endure, the mental and emotional war that follows trauma. Depression hit him hard. He withdrew from friends and family, felt ashamed of his appearance, and stopped taking care of himself. He turned to alcohol, lived in isolation, and questioned his worth and his purpose. For years, he lived in the shadows of who he used to be, haunted by what he had lost and convinced that his best days were behind him. But then came a turning point. An internal voice, quiet at first, began to grow louder. It said, "You're still here, and you still have a choice." He realized that although he had lost limbs, he hadn't lost his life. And that meant something. That meant he still had time, he still had purpose, and he could still fight, not on a battlefield, but in life. He made a decision to reclaim his identity, to stop letting his injuries control him, and to get back to living. It started small. Just going to the gym, trying to get his body moving again, learning to adapt. But step by step, he rebuilt himself, physically and emotionally. He threw away the excuses, took responsibility for his future, and began transforming his body and mind. He started competing in obstacle races like Tough Mudder and Spartan races, events designed to test even the most elite athletes, proving to everyone, especially himself, that he was still a warrior. Noah's story began catching attention as photos and videos of him crawling through mud, climbing walls, and charging through fire on one leg and one arm went viral. People were amazed, not just by what he could do, but by the look of absolute determination in his eyes. He wasn't just competing, he was dominating. He became a fitness inspiration, speaking at schools, military bases, and organizations about resilience and mental health. In 2014, he was featured on the cover of Men's Health magazine as the ultimate men's health guy, becoming the first amputee ever to receive that honor. His popularity skyrocketed when he became a contestant on Dancing with the Stars, and despite his physical challenges, he stunned the audience week after week with powerful, emotional performances. With his dance partner Sharna Burgess, Noah showed that movement isn't just about limbs, it's about expression, passion, and courage. Every time he stepped onto that dance floor, he carried the weight of all veterans who felt invisible, all amputees who felt limited, and all people who'd ever been told they couldn't. He danced not just to compete, but to show the world that strength doesn't always look the way we expect. He made it all the way to the finals, finishing third, but more importantly, he won the hearts of millions around the globe. Off the dance floor, Noah continued to use his platform to support other wounded veterans, promote adaptive fitness, and advocate for mental health awareness. He openly talks about his battle with depression, reminding people that physical wounds may be visible, but the internal scars are often harder to heal. He's passionate about removing the stigma around PTSD and depression, especially among military personnel, and emphasizes the importance of reaching out, seeking help, and refusing to suffer in silence. He has also become a devoted father to his children, a role he takes very seriously, showing them every day what true strength looks like. He often says that losing his limbs forced him to discover who he really was, and while he wouldn't wish that pain on anyone, he's grateful for the perspective it gave him. Noah now spends his time giving motivational talks, participating in fitness challenges, and staying active in the veteran community. He proves over and over again that no matter what life takes from you, it cannot take your ability to choose who you will become. What makes Noah's story so powerful isn't just what he's accomplished, it's the mindset he adopted to get there. He decided not to focus on what he couldn't do, but on what he could. He found purpose in pain, hope in hardship, and strength in suffering. His journey teaches us that resilience is not a trait you're born with, it's a decision you make, again and again, especially when it's hard. It's about showing up, even when you feel broken. It's about adapting, improvising, and overcoming. It's about owning your story, even when it's filled with scars. Noah Galloway is a reminder that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. He stands as a symbol of what's possible when we stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What now?" His message resonates far beyond the military community. It reaches athletes, students, parents, people facing illness, or anyone who feels like their dream has been crushed by circumstances. He reminds us that no obstacle is bigger than the human will to fight back. So the next time you feel like giving up, think of Noah dragging his body through the mud, climbing ropes with one arm, or dancing in front of millions without the limbs most people take for granted. Think about how he turned tragedy into triumph, how he used the worst day of his life as the starting point for a new, more meaningful one. His story is not just about recovery, it's about rebirth. It's about the human capacity to rise, no matter how hard we've been knocked down. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If this story inspired you, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful real-life stories. Leave a comment below and let us know what part of Noah's journey moved you the most, or share your own story of resilience. And always remember, your scars are not your shame, they are your strength. You may lose something along the way, but as long as you keep hope, you haven't lost everything. Until next time, keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep believing in your power to overcome.